Hello. I know I've just started the episode, but I'm overwhelmed. Why? Because my manager and producer have just decided the best way to get me amped up and ready for this podcast episode is to talk about a podcast live show, which is being planned currently as we speak. Shout out if you want a podcast live show. Shout out if just before you have to actually speak on said podcast, you're then talking about the logistics of the podcast live show, and they're giving you numbers about how many people they want you to book for, and you're like, no one cares about me. How put your hand up, show your fingers. Anyway, this week we're talking about getting overwhelmed. No, well, practically this week. Well, actually, let's address the elephant in the room. Here's the elephant. No, I'm not an elephant. I'm not an elephant. Although I did just watch. What did I just watch? And they had. Last week I went to a Animal Action Awards, I4 Animal Action Awards, and there was an elephant. It was basically helping animals. It was really lovely. Anyway, why was I talking about that? Why am I talking about elephants? Elephants! I'm not an elephant. The elephant in the room is this. The taps, the water running through the taps. No, this is my new podcast set. Now, for the first part of season 2, I've been running around like a nomad. We were in the US, then we were back at my house, where were we? We've just been around, so I haven't really actually pinpointed a place. So if you're watching visually, you can see how demure and mindful we now are, and that's why I'm speaking in this low and calm tone. Welcome to season 2 of Ayame We Trust. Anyway, let's get on with the show. I'll explain what it's about later on. But this is Ayame We Trust. This podcast is available on all streaming platforms. Not all of them, just most of them. And it's also available visually on my YouTube, Ayame.P and Ayame We Trust. Anyway, now, what did I want to talk about this episode? Let's just review. Oh, autumn. I want to talk about how it's autumn now. It's autumn. Did you know? We've got some autumnal colours. I don't know what that is, actually. Can anyone tell me what plant this is? It's like a... Anyway. Do you know what plant that is? He's fired. Anyway, we've got some autumnal colours because it's autumn time. And I was talking to someone the other day about how much I love autumn. Because, I don't know about you guys, I love leaving... Well, I'm about to say something that's actually not really true because I haven't left the office late, like from an actual job in, I'm going to say 2 years. I don't work an actual job. As we can see, this is my job. Love to be here. But I used to love leaving the office and it was dark. I love it. And that may be a controversial opinion. That may split some of you. I don't give a hoot heck. I love leaving the office. It's dark and the lights are out and it's Christmas and like you get on the bus. I don't do that anymore. But no, the bus is lovely. You get on the bus. You like tap in. Is that what you guys do? No, I'm kidding. You get on the bus, you tap, and you're just sat and you're just ready to go home, and you're ready to go home, and it's going to be warm in your house unless the gas went out. I grew up in a council estate, and a lot of the time my mum wouldn't put gas on the meter, and then I'd have to run out and put a fiver on the meter, and it would be cold, but at the same time it would warm up, and you run yourself a bath, you know? Shout out if you grew up in a council estate. I'm kidding. Anyway, so I'm very excited for it to be autumn. And this weekend, I spent the weekend with my mum. I know. As an adult woman, that's sometimes difficult to do, spending time with your parents. That's not because of time and a lack of time to spend with my mum and dad. It's just because I'm an adult and I don't care to hear your opinions anymore. I don't care if you think that my outfit is weird. I went to my dad's house. Shout out, Dad, if you're listening to this. Probably not. You don't support me. I went to my dad's house a couple of weeks ago, and I had my keys on me. And I'm a Y2K babe. I wish I could show you my keys right now. I have like so many keychains. I have like a big leopard print thing that says in my Slay era. I have like a load of pink stuff. I have a lip gloss attached to it. It's jangly. You can hear it. It's like this when I'm walking down. The same reason I wear rings. And he just picks up the keys and he's like, is this necessary? Just piss you. Why do you have to? Why do you have to comment? This is the problem I have with parents and just anyone in your family that's over the age of like, I don't know, 40. Just, you don't have to say anything. If your family member's happy, just leave them alone. Dad, I love you and I appreciate you giving me life. But sometimes stay in your own life. was I saying? Just then? What was I talking about? Oh, I spent the weekend with my mum. And it was really actually quite darling. We bought some new pajamas and they were matching. We bought a candle and we lit it, and it was like an autumn, I think it was called Winter Fire or Winter Spice. It was stunning. And then we watched Harry Potter, and it was a really lovely weekend. And I don't want to hear any Harry Potter hate. This was not a moment in the podcast where you could then give your opinions on Harry Potter and who you dislike and why you dislike them and this. And I hate J.K. Rowling. Stupid bitch. But I don't... Am I allowed to say that? She hates trans people. I feel as though I'm allowed to say that. Stupid fucking bitch. But I love Harry Potter and I separate her from it. Anyway, so I spent the weekend with my mum. And I don't know, you can't really see in camera in shot, but I have this beautiful new glass desk. It's stunning. It's like a... I don't know what era, but it gives like, okay, imagine Bridget Jones. Let me okay, close your eyes if you're listening right now. Close your eyes and we're gonna imagine it together. Well, I'm not gonna close my eyes because I can see it right now. Imagine Bridget Jones and like when she comes into the office when she was working at that journalisty place. Was it a journalist? I don't know. She was that guy's assistant, and he's the like main guy. He's the main guy. He's the one that was the weirdo. Hugh Grant. Love him though, but I think he's actually quite a nice person. Anyway, is he? Is that cancelable? Is he a nice person? Okay, slay. That is coming from a young white man, so I can't really take that seriously. But anyway, young. How old are you?
29.
Yeah, you're young. You're young. That's young.
I'm 30 in like 6 weeks.
Oh, that's disgusting. No, it's okay. Well, they were saying there's like an age thing. If you're 29, well, 29's still fun. When you're 30, it's like, oh, get it together. But if you're like 28, it's like, oh, 29's fun. 28 isn't. Do you know how weird that is? Anyway. You're a young white man. Anyway, what was I saying? Hugh Grant. Yeah, that's the desk. It's a Y2K-esque glass desk. Like it's a type of desk that like Miranda Priestley would work from. That's what I get from it. And so the reason I got it £100 on Gumtree. Gumtree is my new obsession. 100. And do you know where that's from? Do you know where that desk is from? Heels. Have you heard of Heels? Big expensive furniture shop. The desks like that go for like $3,000. I know, £100. Shout out Susanna on Gumtree. She's moving house and she didn't need the desk anymore. And she sounded really posh. She sent me that desk, Gumtree. But here's the story. So the Gumtree desk was perfect. Like it was pristine condition. Susanna was really looking after it. I arranged for it to be delivered with 2 movers. Lovely guys. And there's a mix of people's faults, but I didn't tell them it was a glass desk, so they didn't bring any wrapping for the desk. And so Susanna calls me and says, "Hi, darling." This is how she speaks because she's upper middle class. She has a Heels desk that she's happy to give away for £100. You know what I mean? She's that kind of, "Hi, darling, it's Susanna. I'm just speaking with the moving men, and they don't have anything to cover the desk with, so they're a bit uncomfortable with putting the desk in the van, and I just don't know what you want me to do. I have some sheets," because she's an artist. She was an artist. "I have some sheets that are covered in paint that I don't actually need anymore, and I can cover the glass desk with it." And I said, "Susanna, that would be great. I don't give a hoot and heck. Just get that desk to me." I did give a hoot and heck. I mean, hindsight, I did actually give a big hoot and heck, the biggest hoot and heck possible. Are you trying to find the chip? Get ready for the rest of the story. So the desk arrives. Comes out of the van. They've taken the sheets off, the make-do sheets. Desk is perfect condition. I'm thinking, what? How have I done this? I've got this desk perfect. They put it on the ramp to basically bring up to my office, and they uncover it to put it on the ramp. Now, at the time, I was so stressed out with the desk being delivered and whether it would come. I didn't say anything about, "Hey, do you want to keep those sheets on? Do you want to keep those sheets on just in the... because it's still traveling. It's not yet delivered. Do you want to keep those sheets on just for safety?" And... they didn't. I didn't say anything. I just let them go. And they were on the ramp, the 2 glass bits. And let's say these are the 2. I'm going to put this between my knees, okay? Don't look at my crotch. Flirting with my producer. Anyway, the 2 glass desk ramp legs are like this. That's just for sound effect. As they're moving. And lo and behold, the 2 desk legs chip on their way from the van to my office. I was... filled with rage that I can't even put into words. I was so angry. I was angry with the driver because what are you doing? I was angry with myself because why didn't you tell them? Anyway, that Saturday I spent anxious and sad about the fact that I chipped a perfectly good desk. Are you still looking for have you found it? Hasn't found the chip. He's looking for the chip. There's 2 chips. There's one big fat massive chip and there's another chip. Both legs are chipped. Anyway, so I think I'm going through because found it. Okay, I don't like that you found it though. Actually, I can't lie. Oh, is it obvious? Oh, God. I'm gonna cover it with something. Anyway, big 2 fat chips on this good desk, and I was beating myself up on Saturday because I was saying, why couldn't they just be good at their jobs? Why couldn't they just leave their sheet home? Why couldn't I just tell them? You should have told them, Ayame. You should have pissing told them. And so I would go and I went shopping to shop for extra stuff for my office, for my studio. And then as I'm shopping around, I'm kind of distracted by, bubble tea. I'll get a bubble tea. I'll get a little creme brulee antler one. For God's sake. Or I just kind of walk. I'll be like, that's a nice window. Do you know what's made of windows? A glass desk. And it would remind me of the desk. I'd beat myself. It would be a cyclical thing because I'd walk past Heels. There's a Heels in Westfield. I was in Westfield. I'd walk past Heels and be like, oh God, I've got a glass desk from Heels and I freaking ruined it, you idiot. And then I'd be like, no, Ayame, there's nothing you can do, Ayame, just move past it. And it was like a cyclical thing. I was beating myself up. And it finally got to the point where the next day, my mum and I came back and I showed her the chip. And she was like, you just need a resin. Like, there's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. The desk is chipped. It's not ruined. It's just chipped. Just need a resin. And I said, I've got Biab. I've got Biab gel. For any males listening, I just did that look to the producer. He's a man. His legs are out as well. Not sure I condoned that. But anyway. For any males listening, Biab is a nail, like a shellacky nail polish that when it's under a UV light hardens. Very much so. That's Biab. Did you hear that? Did you hear that tap? Great. And so we Biabbed it. And as you can tell, as my producer was trying to find it, it's now not really visible to the human eye. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. There's no need to look at it. Okay? And so we fixed it. And that's just, one thing that taught me is just the power of women. You know, we really are problem solvers. Biab. I fixed a glass table with Biab. What the hell do you mean I now have to listen to my prime minister who's a man who can barely listen? We don't need to get into it. Biab. I fixed a glass table with Biab, and in the US they're trying to remove abortion laws. What do you mean? Why are we as women listening to men when we can fix tables with nail polish? And that may be like patriarchy. Oh, you fixed it with nail polish. Yeah, I fucking did. Yeah, I fixed my glass table with nail polish. So no, you can't tell me when I can not have an abortion or not, or what state or where I have to go or who I have to write to, you stupid bitch. That was aggressive, wasn't it? I was a little bit aggressive. Sorry. Sorry about that. The vote soon, actually. When's the vote for Kamala? When is that? Well, I'm going to get a fact check now, but the vote's soon. Let me tell you, if we are under that old frizzled Frito of a man, that Cheeto pop. Oh, everyone's saying don't bully people online. No. November the 5th. Remember the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes night is when we're voting. Guy Fawkes, the man who tried to blow up Parliament, and that's when we're voting. Is that always? Is that every single year? That seems a bit poetic. That seems very poetic. Anyway, I hope Kamala wins, but I also hope she, decides to free Palestine. That would be really good for her. Anyway, what was I talking about? The glass desk. Welcome back to the chaos that is my hellish brain. I fixed the glass desk with Biab, and I realised a couple of things. Firstly, I spent so much, because the desk got delivered on Saturday, and I spent the whole of Saturday being upset about it until I watched Harry Potter, and then I forgot about it until the next day when I had to come and fix it. I spent the whole of Saturday, or the whole time that I kept being reminded of it, wishing I had spent it differently. I spent my whole time, I spent all the time I had on Saturday wishing I'd spent my time differently. Do you know how freaking stupid that is? Why do we do that? Why do we waste time thinking about how we've wasted time? You know? And so I decided, on the Saturday when I was kind of coming to a close, I decided to just let myself be upset that the desk was... What can I do? What can I do about the fact that the desk's broken? What can I do about the fact that I'm upset? Nothing. I'm upset. The desk is broken. I wish it were in pristine condition. It's not. And I'm upset about it. And that's okay, because then I waste more time being upset with myself for being upset, you know? And then the next day when I fixed it, when I was thinking, oh, you shouldn't have wasted time, I just thought, desk is fixed now. And I've come up with the phrase that I'm really quite proud of. And if I hear any of you twonks using it and not quoting me, best believe you're going to get slapped with a lawsuit. Not you, my baby yams, just the ones that would like use my stuff without telling me. Maya Angelou, here she comes, me. There's nothing you can do, and the only way out is through. Now, get that on a book. Get that someone get that tattooed on them immediately, because that is my quote for today's episode. Because there's nothing I can do. And the only way out, I can't go back and change time. I can't go back and tell the delivery drivers, oh, do you want to put a sheet on that, sweetie? I can't, because I decided not to, because I decided to be in that moment of being stressed about the desk. And there's nothing I can do about whether I should have not biabbed it and taken it to a resin place or taken it to a general chip fixer. A general chip fixer. Is that a real... Mr. Chip. There's a Mr. Chip. There's a Mr. Chip fix it. There is a Mr. Chip. There is a Mr. Chip fixing thing. I'm so sure it's called Mr. Chip. There's a book and a movie called Goodbye, Mr. Chips. That's an old one. Most of you won't know. Mr. Chip. Windscreens. Right. Don't test this brain. There's stupid shit in it, but there's shit in it. Anyway, I could have taken it to Mr. Chip, but I didn't. So the only way out is through. The only thing I can do is accept what is done and move on. And accept that I'm upset about it and then move on. And that's this week's episode. Thank you. Goodbye. No. How long have I been rolling for? I've got more to talk about. Right, let me see what else I can talk about. Oh. Hold on. God, I've really speeded through that story. I thought it would take ages. Talking about my new desk. Should we talk about Harry Potter? It is autumn season. No. Harry Potter? Oh. Here are my favourite things about... Yes. And I don't know... Okay. I don't know what the word is, and I think there's a word for it. In any of my wordy people, because I know you're really smart. The people that listen to me are the smartest ever. There's a word... Oh. Just lips to my mic. There's a word for like coziness, but it's cold. And the change of the season, but it's a cozy season. The feeling of warmth that you feel in autumn and winter. If you could tell me what that word is, that would be great. But that I get that feeling so much. And it's a mix of, I love Christmas. I've already bought some of my Christmas presents already. I'm waiting for November 1st to hit so that I can put my tree up and I can start listening to You're Here With Me. Snow. Who is that? Kelly? Yeah. Leona Lewis. One more sleep until it's Christmas. That's Leona Lewis. Hey, Leona. Who else? No, I don't need to do that. But long story short, I love Christmas. And so that feeling of warmth, preparing. I also think Christmas is so much better in London. No offense to any other countries, but all the offense possible, really. If you can visit London during Christmas, I would. Because it's just magical. The lights. I also can't deal with a cold Christmas. I mean, a warm Christmas. I can never go to like Antigua for Christmas. Shout out Antigua. Love to visit you one day. But have you been to Antigua? White boy's been to Antigua, guy. St. Lucia.
You never even heard of that.
No, what's Bonaire?
It's an island off the coast of Venezuela.
Wow. He's travelled. He's well travelled. His legs are out. Anyway. No, he's been around. During Christmas.
No.
Oh.
Australia during Christmas. Hot Christmas.
Hot Christmas is not the one. A hot Christmas is not for me. It's just not cozy. Like, what do you mean there's no snow? I know we don't get snow in London, but I like the possibility that there could be snow. I like the fact that it's so cold that it should snow. You can't, like, why would you light a fire? Chestnuts roasting. Why would you roast an open fire when it's 30 degrees outside? Do you know what I mean? The reason these songs exist is because it's creating that mood. I don't want to be, sunbathing on Christmas Day. I don't want to be putting SPF on Christmas Day. What do you mean? What do you mean? A bikini? And I know the Australians, they do this weird thing. they do this. Shout out all my Australians listening. You do this weird thing where you run into the sea or something. You go surfing in the morning of Christmas. If I were Father Christmas and I was hearing you say that, I'd be absolutely incensed. I would be so angry. Surfing. You can't do that in the summertime. Is it hot in the summer in Australia? Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Here's something I've learned recently, Australia. Sorry, we're digressing quite a bit. I found out recently, I thought that Australia had our seasons in reverse. So when it was summertime, it's like pissing cold. Yeah. They're tropical heat, really, aren't they? Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought their winter, like August time, it's snowing for them. I thought it would snow in August for Australia. It doesn't. It's hot. And then winter is hotter. Oh, they just have a really hot winter. Yeah, I didn't know that. Thanks, Australia, for teaching me that. You didn't. I'll never go to Australia. And I'll tell you for why. Why do you have so many things? Why do you have so many things? You have spiders, you have kangaroo. I'll do a kangaroo. You have spiders, you have kangaroos, you have scorpion, you have racists. I don't like it. I don't need that much around me. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I do want to visit Australia because you guys are quite funny. And like Bondi. Is that a beach? Koalas. This is another thing, and this is another thing I need to figure out because apparently koalas have chlamydia. I really want to see Moo Deng. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking about all the animals I really love. I went to that Animal Action Awards and they didn't once mention Moo Deng and it infuriated me. What do you mean? Why didn't you talk about Moo Deng and that penguin? That big fat boy penguin? The big fat baby boy penguin. Big blood clot fat boy penguin. Big, huge penguin. Pygmy? No, that's her. Moo Deng's a pygmy. She's not a pick-me though. And this is why we should learn from Moo Deng. Let me tell you why I'm obsessed with Moo Deng. We've gone from a glass desk to Moo Deng. But let me tell you why Moo Deng for me is the epitome of girlhood. Pesto. Pesto's great. He's just a big fat boy. And I love that for him. But Moo Deng has this zest for life and this womanhood and girlhood all combined. And she's the most powerful girl currently. When I went to the Glamour Woman of the Year Awards, I really wish she was nominated for something because she attacks her zookeeper constantly because he just constantly pokes her, constantly, plays with her stomach. And she's like, get out. And, but my mum did say to me, yeah, Moo Deng's cute, but when she gets to a certain age, she could kill you in a second. Like she could literally rip your brain with her chompers. And I thought, to have that much power and beauty and grace and just not care. And she learns so quickly. That video of her eating? She's eating because she's mimicking her mum, but she can't actually digest food properly. She's just learning to eat. She actively learns. And that's why I feel as though as people, we should really learn from Moo Deng because Moo Deng is such a lesson in setting boundaries. And here's the thing. You may think I'm joking. You may think this is stupid. I'm not being stupid. Well, I am. But I'm not joking. She is a lesson in setting your boundaries, in not playing up to the camera and not being a pick-me and just being famous for the sheer fact that you set your own boundaries and you stick by them and you don't care if cameras are on you. She doesn't give a hoot and heck. And I know she's a hippo, so she can't actually conceptualize fame. I know she did, but don't you think, isn't it so crazy that she's a hippo? She has no clue what Instagram is. Like she's literally, she's on Instagram Live. She has no clue what gifting is. Do you know what I mean? She has no concept of, she's just a hippo and we love her. It's such a weird world we live in. Moo Deng does not know, but sometimes I think about it. Like an octopus in the ocean doesn't know what a lion is. What? An octopus, like a regular octopus, Ollie, let's call him, or Olivia, swarming the seas, no clue what a lion looks like. No clue that it's called a lion. Or even like a dog. We're getting really deep now. A dog can meet a lion and not know that it's called a lion. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next segment because we're getting a bit too deep here. Do you ever think about space? We'll talk about that next episode. Anyway, my best friend gets really sad if you mention death, which I think, grow up. No, I love you, but get a grip. We're all going to die. Anyway, What? Now we're moving on to... we're going to move on to the next part of this situation, which is the agonies, which is where you guys write into me with all the issues you're going through. And I'm going to give you some aggressive thoughts back. And I want you to know that I love you dearly. And I know that we all go through some really difficult things. But sometimes get a grip. And if you do write into me and you're writing from a real place of vulnerability, I'm going to shout at you. Okay? That's the environment we've created here. So if you feel uncomfortable with the shouting. Anyway. Oh. I'm not really typing. That was a joke. Oh, that was a joke. Laugh out loud. Okay. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, it's about lesbians. Lesbians! It was Lesbian Day the other day. Oh, guys. We're going to talk about the agony. But first and foremost, I am going to say that I'm in my lesbian bag these days. I've been going quite heavy on the lesbian content, and I'm going to read it back because I don't want to look as though I'm going crazy heavy on lesbian content. But it was Lesbian Day, and I celebrated it. I know a few lesbians. My favorite lesbian is Miriam Margolyes. Is she a lesbian? Yeah, she is a lesbian. Who else is that lesbian? And she's with Sarah Paulson, the old one. She was the mum in... Have you seen 2.5 Men? The mum. But you don't know who Sarah Paulson is? You've seen 2.5 Men, but you don't know... Jesus Christ, he's fired. Anyway. Corinne Taylor. Holland Taylor. Crazy. She's a great lesbian. Oh, she was the gran. I thought she was the mum. Oh, she was his gran, their mum. Generations. Great lesbian. 10 out of 10. I hope she's well. And the black lesbian. Niecy Nash. Niecy, not Stacey Dash. We don't talk about Stacey Dash. Niecy Nash? Niecy. Anyway, she's a lesbian. Shout out my lesbians. Anyway, back to the lesbians. So they've written, Dearest Ayame. So boom. My girlfriend... Sorry, was that hard in your ears? Good boy. My girlfriend and I... I've got a lawsuit coming my way. Anyway, my girlfriend and I broke up over the summer. We were a monogamish couple. What does that mean? What does that mean? Monogamish? What does that mean? Thruple? Oh! Yeah, but monogamish.
She said like monogamish.
Monogamy. Polygamy. Polygamy is multi. Monogamy is mono. Monotheistic. Anyway, leaving the study of words. Monogamish. Oh, she explains. Meaning we were mainly monogamous, but we could casually see other people as we both travel for work and could be gone for weeks to months at a time. Now, here's the thing. Okay, before I read on, and I do respect you and I respect you for writing. What the piss are you talking about? You're going traveling so you can get some more puss? What do you mean? You have one puss. You decide that one puss is yours. What do you mean? Obviously, this puss that you have and then the next puss that you decide to do puss stuff with. What do you traveling? Just because you leave the country and your passport gets stamped doesn't mean that you're a new person. Like, you still have a girlfriend and boyfriend and partner. You know what I mean? Anyway, but it's your choice. It's your life. Already don't like it. Oh, not because you're lesbian. Well, no, I'm joking. Anyway, gone for weeks to months at a time. Months? Are you a spy? Are you spies? Both of you. Anyway. Aside from the obvious being safe and using protection, our only rule was no hookups with someone the other had been with. Right. That's a fair rule. Sure. Anyway, toward the end of our relationship, my girlfriend started seeing a woman. We'll call her Mona. Do you remember Mona the vampire? Love. While I was on a work trip, I come back from said trip and my girlfriend introduces me to Mona. No. Mona is bad AF. Oh, like literally gorgeous, like bad. Like she's bad. That's a badass bitch. My girlfriend and Mona stopped seeing each other and my girlfriend and I break soon up. My girlfriend and Mona stop seeing each other, and then my girlfriend and I break up soon after. Can I tell you? She's with Mona. Why? Because you have a rule that when you travel, your relationship doesn't exist. That's why she's with Mona. And also, who cares if Mona's bad? You're bad as well. Anyway, we're not finished. We've got 2 more paragraphs. Strap in. During the breakup, Mona and I had a little fling. I thought we had a rule. I thought there were rules to this. It was a 10 out of 10. Then we went separate ways. What's wrong with Mona? She seems like a good girl, but then you guys leave her. What happened with Mona? Fast forward to now, my ex hits me up and we start talking about getting back together. I still love her and we didn't break up due to incompatibility or conflicting issues. So getting back together isn't a problem. One day on the phone, she asked, had I seen anyone while broken up? Basically gauging how single I was. I didn't think anything of it and answered, I've been on a few dates, but nothing serious. You? Wrong part. You're lying. You're being dishonest. That's the first thing. You're being dishonest, and you know you're being dishonest. That's why you've written it. You're being dishonest, and you know you're being dishonest. Not happy with you, but keep being lesbian. Anyway. Oh, yeah. I was expecting the same vagueness back, which I would have been fine with because I believe what people do while single is their business. True, but if you're then deciding to be back with someone and you want to enter a place of honesty in a relationship and a companionship, while you were single, that's your business. You didn't have to answer to anyone while you're single. Being single, you can do what you want. But now you're with someone and you've dated someone that they have also dated whilst previously having a rule where you couldn't do that. No, that's where the problem lies, okay? You should have told her about Mona. But we'll keep reading. There's 6 more paragraphs. You should write a book. You write very well, I will say. I've had a lot of problems with people writing and being illiterate, but you're fantastic. You just need to work on your priorities. Anyway, but girlie laid it all out and hit me with the names and dates of who she'd seen. She didn't ask and didn't seem pressed about my specifics, and the topics didn't come up again. Now, I would have said that was your moment to say, okay, I kind of held back, but I will say I did see Mona. That's you didn't have to give specifics about other people. It's just this specific instance. Yeah, this specific instance you should have said. But anyway, why must we dwell? I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself right now. Why must we dwell on the past? We cannot waste time thinking about how we've wasted time. Remember that? Remember when I said that at the start of the episode? Maybe you weren't listening. Anyway, my question is, should I tell my ex about Mona at some point? I wouldn't lie about it why am I stupid right now? Why am I not able to read? I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put that right there because I'm actually getting really upset. Because why am I stuttering? My question is, should I tell my ex about Mona at some point? I wouldn't lie about it if asked, but she hasn't been with any of my exes. So I'm worried it'll look bad that I've been with Mona. It will. Because you lied about it. Not because you were with Mona. Because at the time you didn't have a loyalty to your ex because she was your ex. It doesn't matter if you sleep with Mona because that relationship and that agreement is over. You've now entered back into that relationship knowing you've slept with Mona. You should have said it then. But you can say it now. How much honesty do you owe an ex about the gap of time you weren't together? Oh, you've really had a great full... Okay, I'm just going to read it. How much honesty do you owe an ex about the gap of time you weren't together? Hope I don't sound like a fuck... Well, you've put fuck boy, but you're a girl. Fuck girl. But this is uncharted territory for me, and I'm unsure what the spinning the block protocol etiquette is, if it even exists. Thanks. Genevieve. Now, here's the thing, Genevieve. I adore your name. Did you know that your name's actually French and it's actually pronounced Genevieve? And you may not know that, but I do because I used to want to name my child Genevieve and then I decided not to have children because I think they're a disgusting waste of time. But anyway, Genevieve. Gigi for short. Should you tell Mona? Yes. Should you have told her before? Yes. But it's too late now. We've already moved past it. Not Mona. I don't know what your ex's name. You should tell her... Ex's name is, sorry. You should tell your ex about Mona. Why? Because you owe her that honesty. Why? Because you're entering into a relationship again. Doesn't matter if you now decided to be Polly Pocket. I don't care if you're pissing Polly Pocket. You've decided that you deserve respect from this person and trust, and they deserve it back. And therefore, you need to be honest with them because you're entering that relationship. So I would say, sit down and say, hey, babe, remember when we had that discussion and you were really honest with me? I feel as though I owe that honesty back to you. I did sleep with Mona. It was during our fling of while we weren't. Oh, that was a mini burp. Did you hear that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Mini burped into the mic. Can you I'd like that in post, please. I'd like that to come through the episode so that people feel really connected to me. They heard that mini burp. Anyway, yeah, tell Mona. I mean, not Mona. Fuck. What am I saying? What was I saying? Oh, now your question about how much business. So, like, say for example, I got back with my ex. Now, I haven't slept with anyone since my ex, so this is really quite difficult to talk about because I am ravenous. No, no, but I am. Anyway, what was I saying? Say I got back with my ex, and my ex asked, "Oh, have you been with anyone while I was away?" Yes. It's good for me to be honest and say yes. I don't necessarily need to tell them how many people, the dates, when and why. Your ex decided to do that and that's great for her. Glad they did. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You don't have to be as in-depth. I could have slept with 50 people since my ex. He doesn't need to know that. He can just know, yes, I did. And I'd rather move into this relationship just thinking about you, babe. Just thinking about you. I haven't. I'm barren. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? I was talking about me being barren. So yes, you don't have to be, if you're getting, in general, this is a general message, if you're getting back with an ex, you don't owe them your life story. You don't owe them your deepest, darkest secrets. You don't owe them anything that you don't necessarily feel they need to know, but you do owe them honesty. You do owe Miss Girl the honesty to know, because imagine it had happened to you and you're walking into a room, let's say Mona's there, you're at a lesbian shindig, and you're walking into a room, Mona's there, your ex is there, and you're there. Imagine the fact that you and Mona are in on this secret, that you and your ex, the person that you really kind of want to spend a lot of time with and get to know you, that you and Mona are in on this secret that your ex is completely unaware of, and makes her almost the dunce. You know, and you don't want that because you wouldn't want it happening to you. You wouldn't want to be the dunce in that situation. So, and if your ex is really upset about it, that's also out of not your business, because, I mean, she can be upset that you didn't tell her first off, but you're telling her now. And you can only really stand in the fact that I'm telling you now, I'm being honest now. And if that is going to change whether or not you want to be with me, that's a you thing, because I know I'm great. I just had that lapse in judgment, so to speak, or I had that moment where I just was scared, to be honest with you. But it doesn't then mean that you should judge me on how I am as a partner in general. So yeah, I hope that helps. Oh, this one, all I've seen is that they're 29 next year and they're a year younger than you. So hopefully you can relate. Right. The fake name they've put is Rose Flower. Also, so I just want to say, on my website, www.everythingayame.com, that's where you can submit Agonies. And I've now added the section that you can give me a fake name. Oh, so maybe Geneviève was a fake name. Wait, what was the full name? Oh, but I'm so glad you picked that fake name. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, where am I in this world? I'm going to try and find the full name because Geneviève's really nice. Geneviève Drummond. That is a writer. That is a writer and a poet. Now, introducing our next panelist, Geneviève Drummond. Can you imagine? Beautiful. I might steal that. If you see Geneviève, but it'll be Geneviève because that's the French way of pronouncing it. If you see Geneviève Drummond on a show, don't fucking come for me. You wrote in, I'm taking it. Also me. Don't pirate my stuff. Anyway, so I will say, now rating your fake name here, Rose Flower. Now, if you'd gone Rose... Shit. Side table? No. Rose... Wood... No. Wood... Rosewood. And Rose did. But if you did Rosewood, it would have been better because rose, flower. Anyway, you could have done better. Also, I will say I'm looking at your agony. There's no, what's the word? No punctuation, no paragraphing. We're in for a freaking ride. Hello, Queen Ayame. Already won. Well done. You're fantastic. You have won today's agony of the week. Actually, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should pick an agony of the week. Out of these two, we'll decide. Anyway, hello, Queen Ayame. Thank you for your service to us loyal subjects during season 1. You are very welcome, my child. I have a little life agony I'm hoping you can shed some wisdom on. Okay, so far, I like the way you write. It's just you need to work on your punctuation. Because it's all just, and your capitalization. Anyway, I'm just about to hit 2 years in my current job in November. Leave. 2-year mark, get out. I really enjoy the role. Especially well, that sorts that one out. Especially my job. Especially my role. No, wait. Especially my shoot me. I really enjoy the role, especially my team and my boss. But I'm worried I could get stuck in this role too long than I should be here. I don't want to limit my possibilities, and it doesn't feel like there's any role for me to naturally move to without completely changing the channel of work I'm in. I don't want to be stuck in an assistant role forever, especially... What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I've been speaking a lot today. I had so many meetings. Especially since I will be 29 next year. Getting up there, babe. How old am I next year? No, I'm 28 next year. Old. Should I look to somehow further my career within this company by switching to a different channel? Or should I move on to another place and try something new again? I would love any comments and criticism. Any comments and criticism. Thank you again. Lots of love from this Australian girl. I just told you you were racist. I just said you've got racism and spiders. But I hope you're not racist. You seem great. You were the best part of my week listening to the pod. Now, Roseflower, I really regret being harsh with your stupid name. Here's the thing. And I feel as though capitalism's done it to us. Why must we feel like we always have to progress in a job? I have one friend who is just happy to be happy. I remember when I had my job before I was, doing this shit. They made us order important things, like what's important. I think it was like 5. Do you just yawn? You fucking bored? No.
I was trying to internalize a burp.
Oh, well done. Internalized a burp. They made us order in importance 5 things. I think it was money, progression, environment. It was 3. It was 3 things. Money, progression, environment. Out of those 3, which is most important? 1, 2, 3. And when I started working, because I was at this place for quite a while, I'd started my job, like working career there, and I moved to Canada, came back and ended up working there again because I just loved the environment. Because I'd started the role saying it was money, progression. I don't care about environment. I don't care about who I work with. And then later on in life, you kind of do different jobs with different other people. You're in environments that are fantastic, that you feel like it's like a family. You go to work every day, excited to see those people. And the role is, fun. And the money's, good. But it's mainly the people that you get to see every day that's the most important. And as time went on, and when I went back to that place, my priorities had very much changed in that money is very important, yes, because I need to pay my bills. But environment was the most, because you're spending every single day with the people that you're working with, and how far you have to travel, and the journey itself. And those are really, really important. So I know there's this, and I know I just said it, that every 2 years you should change your job to make sure you're progressing. But isn't progression the fact that every day you're happy and happier? Isn't that another important progression? That you're waking up and you love your role, you love the job you're doing, and you feel as though it's important to your life, and you love the people you're seeing, and you're progressing each day because each day you're happy. That is a more important progression than, I got moved from, because really and truly, a dustbin man, my mum always used to say this to me actually, or is it my dad? Can't remember. One of them, single parents, eh? A dustbin man can earn just as much as an executive assistant. but the dustbin man's called the dustbin man, and the executive assistant for the PR company of this is called that. But really and truly, they earn the same. And a dustbin man gets to go and meet all his lads. Hey, you right, boys? That's my north. I imagine all dustbin men are northern. Don't know why. And the executive assistant feels bullied at her job. A name is just a name. It doesn't really matter. You're really, essentially, most of the time when you're progressing in a role, when they're changing you, they're just giving you, most capitalist companies are just giving you a new title, director of operations, but they're paying you maybe $2,000 more, and they're giving you about 10 more roles to cover, so that they don't have to hire an extra person. It doesn't matter. Long story short, if you are happy and you feel comfortable and you feel as though you yourself are being tested, who gives a hoot and heck whether or not you are still doing the role that you were doing 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago? As long as you're happy, it doesn't really give a hoot and heck. But at the same time, and I will counter that by also saying, can you hear that? Oh, me shaking my head. Can you hear that? It's my earring. Can you hear that? Okay. Just to prove I'm not crazy, I will counter that by saying, don't stick in something just because it's comfortable and you're scared. Because at the same time, people do move. And there may be, I would say, okay, because I'm really contradicting myself. Because you do need to test yourself, and you do need to push yourself to become a person, to be able to enter different channels and enter different rooms that you are able to work, if that makes sense. People are going to move from your company, and your company environment will change. It's not this kind of stationary, what's the word? Bubble, but it's not that. It's like a word for something that's like, that doesn't move in time. It's just this, I feel like it starts with a P. Anyway, anyone that's listening to this that has really good English, let me know. But things in life are not just this unmoving moment. They change. People change. People find new jobs. People get fired. People get caught in the office or even the cupboard making out with the boss. I've heard. People can send out an email to the wrong people by accident, calling everyone racist. I've heard. And then they get fired. I've been fired once. I got fired. And I love doing this because I like to add some realism that, yes, I'm sat at this lovely chair with these lovely flowers, with this lovely phone, my lovely rings. But I've been through some things. I got fired because I went on holiday to Ibiza. Well, to London. It was when I was in Canada. I went on holiday to London and then to Ibiza. And I said to them, yeah, sure, I'll work from home, basically work abroad. I didn't do any work for 3 weeks. And then I came back thinking I was top gun. And I got fired. And I cried because then I had to go on benefits, which was essentially this Canadian benefits. I forgot what it's called. Starts with an E. And I thought myself, a joke. How could you get fired? Now look at me. I've got my own chair. I've got my own office. So for anyone that's just been fired, doesn't really matter. You'll find another job and it will move on. Life moves on. What was I saying? Yes. Monolithic? No, monolithic. Trying to figure out the word. Something lithic. No. Monolithic. Anyway, things change. So don't decide not to move just because you're scared of moving. If you feel as though if you're thinking, I want to challenge myself because I don't get challenged enough, then yeah, find a new job or find something, or challenge yourself or put yourself out there, or try and find a better job, as in a job that has more responsibilities that are outside of your realm of understanding. But if you're telling yourself, oh, I should get another job because I've been in this job for 2 years now, and the man says that I should be moving every 2 years in order to be successful. Success isn't what the man decides success is. Success is making sure that you are happy and confident and comfortable and have a good set of friends and people love you. That is what success is. So if you feel as though you're waking up for work every single day and you're thinking, I can't wait to see Jilly. I don't know why her name's Jilly. Can't wait to see Jilly. Oh, I must tell Tom about that thing. Oh, yes. And the work I'm doing, I feel fulfilled in it. Then tell the man to piss off and enjoy your job. And it's full, so you can leave the office and it's dark. Anyway, Roseflower, I hope that helps. Just enjoy your life, and that sounds really stupid. Just enjoy the small things. You know that whole thing about romanticize your life? Romanticize your life, because this is dumb. We're literally on a planet. We're literally a little speck in a universe just running around a hot ball of gas. And then someone's telling you should move and change jobs every 2 years. For what? For me to change jobs and then go to that job and be, I guess happy, but not as happy. And then I die. We all die. This has been the joyous episode of it. No, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, out of the two confessions, they're both very different. And I liked that you both gave me very different confessions. As I say, Agonies, you can submit them on my website, www.everythingayame.com. Someone noted to me that it looks, when it's typed out, like it says everything gay Ayame. And I love that because I am gay Ayame. Anyway, this has been this solo episode of Ayame We Trust. As I say, Agonies, you can submit them on my website, www.everythingayame.com, in the Ayame We Trust podcast section. The podcast is available on everything, and I will see you next week when I will be with guest. I will be with child next week. Hopefully not. Shout out Kamala. Anyway.